Hello everyone, I'm Tony Dawson. Welcome to NXT Reborn, the year in review. What an incredible year it has been for NXT. We've seen the emergence of exciting new superstars including Big E Langston, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns. Some of the biggest stars in WWE, including CM Punk, The Big Show, and Team Hell No, were also a huge part of NXT in 2012. Tonight, we're going to take a look back at some of the moments that rocked the always raucous NXT arena. And we'll have a special look at the Renegades from our very own ranks, The Shield. Right now, let's kick our year-end celebration off with the crowning of the first ever NXT champion. It came down to the two finalists of the NXT Gold Rush tournament, Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal. Only one superstar would walk away with the lifelong privilege of saying they were the very first NXT champion.
Welcome back to NXT. This is our main event to crown the first ever NXT champion. It has come down to guts, will, and determination between Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins.
Rollins scored her that knife-edge chop, but Jinder Mahal still standing tall. Mahal's got a bad knee, we think. We know that Rollins' lower back is hurting, and these men are striking with everything they can. Rollins now getting the upper hand. It has been Jinder Mahal's match for the majority of this contest.
Back and forth. Who's going to get the advantage here?
Oh, Mahal just regained the advantage, without a doubt. The cover and the throw. That was so close. Referee's hand was coming down for the 3 count. Mahal knows it, and we know that Seth Rollins' bad back is getting worse and worse by the heartbeat. Bull Nelson. Mahal thinking, clubbing blows again to the spine, the back.
And Mahal is trying to put the finishing touches on Rollins, who counters.
Nice wrestling from the Iowan, a state known for its wrestling in the United States. And Rollins missed with one kick, but not the second one, and it strikes Mahal in the temple.
So resourceful, so resilient.
Oh, what a knee, what a knee.
And Rollins now, momentum, hooks the leg, no! Gosh, how close can you get?
Amazing championship match on NXT. Rollins thought he had him. You gotta regroup. Seth Rollins, you gotta regroup. Turn the burner up on the fire. All the stars from NXT and abroad here on the stage watching this magnificent main event, an historic main event.
You have to just admire the determination of Seth Rollins. Bad back and all, still coming full speed.
Oh, turnbuckle. Strategic use of the turnbuckle.
The knee before knocked the equilibrium silly of Jinder Mahal, and that turnbuckle straight back onto the ear again. Jinder Mahal.
Connection by Rollins. Shoulders down to Mahal. No!
A Sabat kick earned a near fall for Seth Rollins. Rollins is astonished that kick didn't do it.
Look at this again. Look how close Rollins was to putting away. And now Rollins flies.
Oh, Rollins crashing and burning. A corkscrew moonsault attempt with nothing but canvas.
That might have just been it. That might have been the blessing in disguise for Jinder Mahal.
Has Rollins taken one too many chances. Bull Nelson slam with authority. And the cover, the hook of the leg, and we got a... What? Somehow, some way, Seth Rollins willed his way out of that predicament.
How did Seth Rollins even have the guts to just raise that shoulder up?
Amazing heart, the will to win. Not just the will to compete, but the will to win.
Oh, wow, look at this now. Looks like Jinder Mahal having the will to finish off Rollins with that camel clutch if he can cinch it in.
Camel clutch will do it.
Certainly will, yes. Back to the back of Seth Rollins. There is no way, if that camel clutch is applied correctly, that Seth Rollins will be able to survive. There's absolutely no way.
Jinder repositioning Rollins, who counters with a roll-up. The shoulders are...
Rollins out of desperation made the counter. And now Rollins
Oh my, what strength! How is he even doing this?
Rollins has Mahal up and tosses him into the turnbuckle. Rollins has built momentum.
Blackout! Blackout, he hit it! Rollins hit it!
Rollins with the blackout. Rollins with the cover. Rollins, Seth Rollins has become the first NXT champion.
The winner of this bout and new NXT champion, Seth Rollins.
What a main event. Extremely combative, amazingly physical. A match that could have gone either way on many occasions, but on this night, Seth Rollins battled through a bad back injury to defeat that man, Jinder Mahal, and become the first ever NXT champion.
What a moment for a man who dared to be different, who dared to have a dream, and can now call himself champion.
But also a man who has an incredibly large target on his back and 50 sets of eyes that I can see stood on this stage, all wanting to be his next challenger.
What a moment. What a moment inside the NXT arena. What a moment in history, ladies and gentlemen. Take another look. Jinder Mahal thought he had Seth Rollins right where he wanted him, trying to apply the camel clutch. Rollins was able to counter, and with momentum, all-important momentum, riding high on the side of Rollins, blackout, emphatically delivered, and Seth Rollins captures the biggest honor of his young career.
An amazing accomplishment for an emotional Seth Rollins, who battled his way through the single elimination tournament to become the last man standing, the first NXT champion.
A historic night from the NXT arena.
Seth Rollins has permanently etched his name into NXT history as our first champion. Jinder Mahal had another shot at the championship a couple of weeks ago, with Rollins winning once again. No question, Rollins has earned the NXT crown. But in recent weeks, he's drawn the ire of the entire WWE universe, as well as the WWE locker room, now that he is a member of the renegade group calling themselves The Shield. NXT Commissioner Dusty Rhodes has constantly urged everyone on the NXT roster to find a way to make an impact. And in 2012, Seth Rollins certainly did. But he wasn't the only one.
This arena in Orlando is buzzing with anticipation as we welcome you to the excitement of NXT.
Richie Steamboat has a lot of fire, a lot of determination.
That's the Sling Blade for the win.
Audrey Marie, the country cowgirl, ready to get into some competition. And impressive there, the last roundup slam there for Audrey Marie.
Highly regarded, a potential star on the rise. CJ Parker.
Bo Dallas has that incredible fire. Look at the fire burning in his eyes.
The spear for the win. Bo Dallas.
Very seldom do you see an athlete that is a game changer with the power, the athleticism, and the intensity that Big E Langston possesses.
Parents, stop lying to your children. You're telling them the monsters are not real. The boogeyman is real. I am real. They don't know you, man. They don't love you like I do. Like I do. Like I do. They can't protect you like I can. How am I gonna do that? Love, man. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about real love. Love, you can feel it deep down in your core, man. Love you can reach out and touch. Take my hand and we will grab a chunk of that love. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? I know how cruel it can be. I know what it's like. I know what it does to a man. It changes him. It makes you stronger, man. I am strong now. I'm not afraid anymore. What will they do when they discover they cannot hurt me? They cannot hurt me. What they gonna do, man? What you gonna do to something like me? What can they do? Run.
I'm never sure what to make of Bray Wyatt. Everything about him is a little, shall we say, different. He's kind of creepy and weird. And while you may question his methods, there's no questioning Bray Wyatt's results.
I can only imagine what you people must think of me, man. You don't understand me, but you will in time. In time, you'll understand exactly who I am, man. And in time, you'll understand exactly what I am capable of, man. And then, and finally then, you'll understand what I am. But for now, I am the angel in the dirt. My name is Bray Wyatt. Pleased to meet you, man. Time is on my side.
Wow.
And his opponent from Lafayette, Louisiana, weighing 285 pounds, Bray Wyatt.
How do you evaluate a man like Bray Wyatt, William Regal?
I've seen and done a lot of hideous things in my life. I don't know how to explain this man. I mean, truly gives me the collywobbles. I can't. There's just an aura of just pure violent venom that comes from him. I tried to have a conversation with him before, and he was talking recently. You heard about that preacher who was handling live rattlesnakes and got bitten and passed away, and Bray Wyatt was laughing about it, saying that he just didn't believe enough. And I didn't believe in what enough, he said. He didn't believe like I do, and I was trying to get to the bottom of it. I can't get to the bottom of the man.
My goodness, and look at the aggression of Bray Wyatt. I mean, this almost unorthodox style, this 300-pound superstar, but my goodness, and he's laughing to himself.
This man truly may be psychotic. I mean, there's no other way to put it. But he's a psychotic 300-pound man who has incredible athletic ability, and I know he was an amateur wrestling champion. So it's just pure danger. This man is pure danger. Look at him.
Third-generation athlete. I mean, you know it's in his DNA, but my goodness, I mean, just look at the expression on his face. What in the world is going on in the mind of Bray Wyatt?
He's very dangerous, and he's going to do some permanent damage to somebody. I mean, he's just balmy.
Watch out! My gosh, 300-pound freight train crashing into the body of Aiden English. And now he's dancing with him.
This is just sick.
What? My gosh.
Here is your winner, Bray Wyatt.
Destructive and devastating.
It doesn't matter what we think of Bray Wyatt, this young man is going to be a huge star.
Look at that. It's another new year. Another chance for you to pay off your debts. Another chance for you to lose that 10 pounds you've been trying to get off. Another chance for you to muster up the courage to talk to Maria down at Cubicle 8. Or another chance for your loved ones to betray you in my name. Happy New Year.
Coming up, an exclusive, never-before-seen matchup between the Big Red Monster, Kane, and Cody Rhodes tonight.
Pain is what I inflict, and I will deliver. Pain that you see, pain that you feel, pain you can hear, and the pleasure it brings me to inflict pain. I'm Cassius, and I hurt people.
Cassius,
It's Cassius.
I just have a few questions for you about Trent Beretta and your match tonight in the main event.
Shh.
Match.
Stop you there. I get this from time to time. I'm having a premonition. I'm having a premonition that tells me that Trent T is going to experience more pain than he's ever felt in his life. The little guy, never going to be the same.
Hard knife edge chop.
Dream killer elbow.
Clearly this guy just wasn't ready.
Cassius Ohno from behind. Ohno and Kruger double teaming Tyson Kidd. There's absolutely no reason for this whatsoever.
He's just taking too many liberties.
William Regal has left the announce position. Regal pulling Kidd to what we hope to be an area of safety. Damage control, I don't know the meaning of this.
Oh, hello. It's Cassius Ohno here. And soon, a new year will be upon us. Good old 2013. There's a couple people that think that 13's an unlucky number, but I'm not superstitious. My opponents, though, it's not going to be a very lucky year for them now, is it? Because as we've seen in the past, Cassius Ohno is pretty good at inflicting pain on those that stand in his way. Torn ligament here. Concussion there, contusions, separations. Got a lot in store for 2013. Perhaps an NXT championship. That sounds good, don't you think? I think it sounds great. 2013. It's gonna be okay for KO. Cassius says, Happy New Year.
Hello, everybody. Obviously, this is your WWE Champion, CM Punk, and I'm here with a little bit of a Christmas present. I know, it's the day after Christmas. I'm a little bit late, but hey, when you're the best in the world, you tend to run a little bit busy around the holidays. And besides, I'm here to impart some of my wisdom upon the less fortunate, which would be all of you. So if I were you, I would take what I can get. Now, my last appearance here in NXT was a few months ago, and I gave some of this famous wisdom of mine to Seth Rollins. I said, Seth, if you want respect in this world, in this company, in this business, you need to beat it out of people. And Seth's smart. He took this to heart. Now him and The Shield are running rampant all over WWE. They made one hell of an impact. I've seen the future of the WWE. The superstars and divas of tomorrow are here in NXT. And they're impressive, but I can only hope that they're watching superstars like me work hard, pay their dues, break glass ceilings, reach the new level. And I hope they understand that this is what it's all about. and this is attainable. You're looking at 400 plus days and counting as WWE champion, with no end in sight. I will leave you with a few, well, actually just one very important New Year's resolution of mine. At Royal Rumble, I will defeat The Rock. I'll go on to main event WrestleMania. I'll continue to hold on to what rightfully belongs to me, which is the WWE title, continue to be the longest reigning WWE champion of the modern era, proving that not only am I the best in the world, I'm the best WWE superstar ever. No question. One more thing. Happy New Year. To me.
Five, 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 five. That is the chant bouncing off the walls of the NXT arena every time Big E Langston makes his way to the ring. Perhaps no NXT superstar made a bigger impact, both figuratively and literally, than the massive and incredibly powerful Big E Langston.
A 3 count is normal. Big E Langston is not normal.
Complete and utter domination by Big E Langston.
That is validation of dominance.
From now on, my opponents will feel the pain, the agony of not getting up from the 5 count. 1, 2, 3,
4. One superstar not impressed by Big E Langston's sudden impact is the ever-dangerous Camacho. Would Camacho be able to thwart Big E's dominance, or would Camacho go down for the 5 count?
As Camacho tries to use his head as a weapon, Big E shows exactly how that's perfected in a hard right hand to the abdomen. That is just absolutely debilitating. I'm anxious to see if Camacho can get some offense in here, because no one has been able to penetrate Big E Langston.
Ruthlessly efficient. Langston has not only won every match he's been in, he's been dominant. And now Camacho looks to set the tone here early. There is real animosity between these two. Langston powering him into the corner.
Well, you got to think that, you know, Big E, we got a chance to be put out of action. You know, I don't know that Camacho is here so much to win this match as he is to injure Big E Langston. That's what the bounty's all about. The bounty's not about beating somebody. The bounty's about putting someone out of action.
You've been in this business a long time. A $5,000 bounty. How does that impact a competitor's motivation?
Well, so how would $5 grand impact your motivation or mine?
Get me going.
That's a lot of money. You know,
Camacho!
Camacho to the back, using the ropes for some more leverage. You know, Camacho is a big man. I don't think the cameras do Camacho justice, in addition to that T-shirt that he's wearing. But he is a big man.
Ooh. Some in the locker room question, since Big E Langston hasn't been challenged, how would he respond? And he just responded right there.
Well, slapping Big E is like pouring gasoline on a fire. You're going to get an explosion. If you're too close, you're going to get burned.
Running through Camacho, and we know what this means. The singlet.
Big E is a beast. He is an undefeated beast here in NXT.
A destructive force, ready to do damage. Camacho in a vulnerable position. Langston for the win.
That's nasty.
It's over. Big E Langston.
Very seldom do you see an athlete that is a game changer with the power, the athleticism, and the intensity that Big E Langston possesses. I truly believe Big E Langston will be a difference maker in WWE for years to come.
The animosity still not spent. The loyal fans here want a 5 count, and Big E Langston looks like he wants to oblige. Camacho already defeated, vanquished. Oh, and down he goes again. This is dominance. The awesome, destructive fury of Big E Langston, still undefeated, and the bounty still out there.
Big E was dominant here tonight, and not against just another guy. Against a very talented man that was not intimidated, that showed no fear to Big E Langston. But again, Big E Langston, the proverbial bull of the woods in NXT. As has been said of a few others, Big E is all man and a yard wide, and his feet cover the ground that he walks on.
Langston comes back into the ring, JR.
Well, this is a message for everyone in the NXT locker room. This is a message for everyone that competes on Raw and on SmackDown.
And a message for Vicky Guerrero.
Look at the intensity. Look at the intensity. The intensity of Big E Langston. It's extraordinary. You don't find this every day, ladies and gentlemen.
Eerily familiar. Camacho has felt this, and he's ready to feel it again.
Big E feels like 5. 5 more.
The word dominance doesn't begin to approach. An accurate description of Big E Langston.
If Big E were a stock, I would buy it in bulk.
Now, while Big E Langston has been making waves on NXT, Big E turned the WWE Universe upside down on a recent Monday Night Raw telecast with a shocking attack on John Cena.
Wait a minute. That's AJ and... Oh my God. Oh my God, it's Cena drags Ziggler back in the middle of the ring, guys. That is Ziggler's in the STF, but the guys, that's Big E Langston from NXT.
Well, watch out.
Big E Langston has got right after John Cena. The powerful Big E Langston planning Cena. Man, look at the cracked ribs. And AJ's loving every minute of it. Gosh, AJ's in, what in the?
I don't get any of this.
What an just unbelievable, unreal past 24 hours. This has been an unbelievable night. Oh my gosh.
I recently caught up with Big E Langston at a WWE live event to ask him about his assault on John Cena. Now, Big E, the entire WWE universe wants to know, why did you attack John Cena on Raw?
Tony, it's pretty simple. I was merely helping my friend AJ Lee, that's all. But that's my business. On NXT, my business is becoming the new NXT champion. And Seth Rollins and his Shield of Justice, they should be concerned with that. In fact, I have a little New Year's resolution that Seth Rollins loses a little weight around his waist when I become the new NXT champion. Any more questions?
No, sir, no.
Interview over.
Coming up next, one half of the tag team champions, Kane, in an exclusive, never-before-seen matchup against Cody Rhodes.
Welcome, everybody. The NXT Arena is on their feet for what is sure to be a night they won't soon forget.
Leo Kruger's someone that just look at the man's face. I mean, you know he's lived life.
Kruger has a definitive aggressive streak, shall we say, a mean streak.
He is a man who believes in cruel and unusual punishment.
And the knockouts, and the strikes, and no remorse there in Cassius Ohno.
That's a reflection, demonstration of the strength of Conor O'Brien.
The Ravenhead beauty, Miss Helen Boots.
Paige, as she's shown weeks and weeks and weeks, has run through the Divas division with little or no competition to back her down.
Look at the NXT universe, the way they're reacting to her.
The eyes of Corey Graves. There's darkness in those eyes, evil. This is a complex superstar bent on controversy. Corey Graves basically came out of nowhere and inserted himself straight into the NXT Championship picture. After Graves attacked Rollins during an interview with JR, Graves lured the champ into accepting his challenge. The two will battle for the NXT Championship right here next week. You never know what's going to happen here at NXT. Things tend to get chaotic in a hurry, not unlike the WWE Tag Team titles situation. Team Hell No has had some hellacious battles with Team Rhodes Scholars in recent months. None more so than this incredible matchup on WWE's main event, in which Kane backflipped Cody Rhodes up toward the rafters. And Rhodes hit the canvas with such incredible force that Cody suffered multiple injuries to his shoulder, at first thought to be career-threatening. Fortunately, Cody has since returned to action. And fortunately for us, right now I have a special treat for you. A never-before-seen matchup between Kane and Cody Rhodes that took place at the NXT Arena this past July.
Well, what a great matchup we have here for you folks. Tom Phillips here with Tony Dawson along with you. Inside the NXT Arena, a tremendous bit of a grudge matchup here. Kane and Cody Rhodes, as Cody Rhodes there dashing out of the ring, so to speak, Tony.
The ring feels very small for Cody Rhodes. Kane at 7 feet tall, 323 pounds. That 20 by 20 ring seems awfully tiny when the Big Red Monster is patrolling between the turnbuckles.
Well, Cody Rhodes looking to take his time, understanding what Kane has to offer him here. And we say that this is a grudge match because of the injury Cody Rhodes suffered at the hands of Kane in a tag team matchup. Had a concussion, a separated shoulder, a very severe injury that could have kept him out for a number of months. But as you can see, Cody Rhodes back in the ring.
But Cody Rhodes demonstrating his mental and physical toughness. 25 days from suffering that injury, he was back cleared and competing.
Whoa. Looking to get away from Kane here as he gets out of the ring yet again. And Kane dominating the space so far, and Cody Rhodes trying to get some sort of grasp on how to go after the Big Red Monster.
In talking with Cody Rhodes earlier today, he said the key to the matchup was going to be quickness. He understands that in terms of physical strength, he cannot compete with Kane. Rhodes is 6'2", 215. It has to be about cunning and quickness, and Rhodes, an outstanding amateur wrestler, certainly understands how to apply those qualities.
Well, Kane looking to corner Cody Rhodes here, and now Cody looking to engage the Devil's favorite demon here up against the turnbuckle. And here at NXT, this is, of course, the house run by his father, WWE Hall of Famer, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Kane already stomping him into the corner. Off the ropes, Kane with a big drop kick to the face. Kane looking for the cover, 2 count, and there's a kick out.
We've already seen the power and fury of Kane, who is so physically dominant. You wonder what Cody Rhodes can do now that Kane is engaged. And there's the quickness and the escapability. Cody Rhodes gathering himself physically and mentally. He knows he's in an unbelievable battle.
Kane not gonna let him get away just so fast. Hey, Cody, look behind you. Oh! Kane not gonna let him escape that easily. I guarantee you Dusty Rhodes is in the back somewhere telling his son to get right back in there. Well, Kane says Cody back into the ring, and this is exactly what Kane wants to do. Ground him inside the ring and try and maintain. Oh, then that might be the issue for Kane. That size getting chopped down by Cody Rhodes. And the big boot to the face.
Wow.
Not affected by that drop kick from Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes has to counterattack. That has to be his approach. And yet Kane is still finding ways to get his offense going.
Off the top rope, can't connect. Rhodes with a head of steam. Oh, looking to set up the choke slam. He might have him up. Oh, Rhodes escapes. Getting away, and now the tides may have turned. Oh!
The choke slam, one of the most feared maneuvers in WWE. Cody Rhodes knows if he gets hit with the choke slam, his moments are numbered.
And Cody Rhodes in control here. Looking to ground and pound. What does he have to do to put away Kane in this matchup, Tony?
It's going to take tremendous poise and determination. He understands physically he's at a disadvantage, as I mentioned earlier. For Rhodes, it's going to be about sustaining his level of effort throughout the match and turning this into a story of quickness and stamina. Those are his advantages. Rhodes in unbelievable physical condition, 4.3% body fat, a staggeringly low number.
Unbelievable. Well, Cody Rhodes, a former Intercontinental Champion, former Tag Team Champion, very accomplished so far here in WWE, the second generation WWE superstar. Who's going to come away with this one? The dashing Cody Rhodes of the Big Red Monster Kane. We'll find out when NXT rolls on.
And I say to him, you don't need a whole jar of pickles. Hey. Oh, hello there. I didn't even see you. I'm John Cena. You may know me from such programs as Monday Night Raw. Thank you so much for tuning into NXT's Year in Review. And as the calendar year turns a flip, it becomes a series of new opportunities in the WWE. NXT is certainly the foundation of the WWE, and with NXT you will see its next superstars on Raw and SmackDown. Believe me when I tell you, the future is now, the future is NXT.
Well, quite the stamp of approval there from John Cena.
The franchise player, he is the face of WWE, and his vouching for NXT is huge. And then you just take a look around, look in the ring here at Full Sail with two established main roster superstars in Cody Rhodes and Kane. And Cody Rhodes is in a position of advantage right now.
Looking to lock up the legs of Kane. Kane in a very difficult position right now. And we mentioned how these are two of the biggest and brightest superstars here on the NXT soil. Commissioner Dusty Rhodes has stated time and time again, nothing is given to you here on NXT. Everything is earned, and that even goes for the biggest superstars in WWE.
This is a battle of wills right now. Cody Rhodes threatening to pull what would be an upset. What a remarkable maneuver by Rhodes.
And Kane's got to be careful here. His shoulders hit the mat. There's a count, and Cody may get a pinfall here if Kane isn't careful with this submission maneuver. Very good idea here to ground him, get those knees in play, but what do you think the mindset is of Cody Rhodes after the injury he suffered at the hands of Kane, now coming into this matchup with something to prove?
Cody Rhodes always goes into the ring with a chip on his shoulder. Maybe it's because he's the son of a legend with a drop kick there.
For the cover, hook to the leg, and just a 1 count.
And maybe it's also because Cody Rhodes has a mean streak going back to his days in high school when he went 101-2 as a high school wrestler, winning 2 state championships.
Getting underneath the big man there was Cody. Big time uppercut from Kane. Now the big man's got a head of steam, nearly 100 pounds on his competitor. Into the corner. And you can see the fatigue in both these men starting to set in. Cody Rhodes doing everything to chop down the big man. Was going for the bulldog there, but Kane countered. The cover, 2 count, and just barely a very meek escape there from Cody Rhodes.
Easy for you to say, meek escape. He just got slung through the air and landed, knocking the wind out of him. Cody Rhodes is in a serious battle right now.
And landing on that injured shoulder, you gotta know that Kane's going after it, but Cody Rhodes, crafty, a lot of experience even for his young age, being around his father, being around his brother, a lot of great competitors within his family. Oh my goodness! Off the top rope, this might do it. No, Kane powers out.
What an unbelievable maneuver by Rhodes. The amplitude of that leap. A concise resume of the athletic ability of Rhodes.
Well, the elevation on that one almost did in Kane, and you can see Cody Rhodes there almost going for the mask of Kane. Out of the corner, sidewalk slam. The power from Kane, and no, escaping. Cody Rhodes once again gets the shoulder up.
The arrogance of Cody Rhodes never in doubt. Also never in doubt his resilience. Battling back time and again. A few of these moves could have been enough to finish him, but Rhodes competing with great intensity.
Rhodes has gone after the knees of Kane all night long. Now Kane looking to fly. Gets him with the flying lariat. Kane finally in control, the momentum all in his way, looking to set up that choke slam. Cody in a dangerous way right now and smartly gets to the ropes. And referee Rob Zapata. Oh my goodness. Oh, the disaster kick. That might do it. Kane could be out cold. The cover, slipping away is Kane. Cody's calling for another ref. He doesn't believe it. He thought he had him.
Oh, Cody Rhodes. Let it never be said that he's not creative. He wants to win more than he wants to breathe.
Rob Zapata knows what he's doing in there.
Bring in another ref. Is he serious?
Kane looking to counter, flipping out of it is Cody. Oh, he might have him. Choke slam. Into the mat. The cover. Yes.
Here is your winner, Kane!
2013 is almost here, and I have it on good authority that the Shield has vowed to make as big of an impact on NXT as they have on Raw and SmackDown to ring in the new year. In addition to Seth Rollins battling Corey Graves for the NXT Championship next week, Bo Dallas will be in his first matchup since being knocked out by The Big Show, and he will take on Epico. Also, Cassius Ohno and Leo Kruger will take on the high-flying Dynamos, Tyson Kidd and Justin.
For anyone out there left in the world who doesn't know, my name is Seth Rollins, and I am the NXT champion. I am your NXT champion. I am the only NXT champion in the history of WWE. But where's that gotten me? What has that done for me? I've been sitting down here stewing, waiting to get the call up. I get it, everyone's afraid. The office is afraid. The superstars are afraid. Fear is a disease. Fear is an injustice. An injustice we started to rectify at Survivor Series.
I'm Dean Ambrose. Believe me when I tell you that for a long, long time, WWE has been ill, not healthy, suffering, poisoned by lies, poisoned by corruption, but she's too proud to let you know that she's sick. So the WWE Universe has no idea. They're oblivious. They think everything is happy. They think everything is okay. They don't know the difference between right and wrong, justice and injustice. We know the difference. We're not blind. We see everything. The WWE is supposed to be about putting smiles on people's faces. Things aren't supposed to be this way. Things aren't supposed to be like this. The real world's full of enough injustice. People lose their jobs, get laid off, get kicked out of their homes for no reason at all. Healthy, good people get sick for no reason at all. Hospital bills pile up for no reason at all. People get jumped, beat up, mugged, robbed in the street for no reason at all. Things aren't supposed to be like this in WWE, and we're not going to let it be like this.
That reminds me of someone I know, Corey Graves. You attacked me from behind. I get it. You did what you had to do. You want to make a name for yourself. At my expense. You know, it says, stay down on your knuckles. Well, I didn't stay down. Graves, I'm still standing. And the next time I see you, you won't be standing. You won't be walking. You won't be crawling. You will be carried out of the building on a stretcher.
Now, the Shield brings justice to NXT. We've been the foundations of NXT because we're the best. Because we're that good. We deserve to be because we work harder, we train harder, we wrestle harder, we go harder. If you think we brought destruction and chaos in the name of justice to Raw and SmackDown, you haven't seen anything yet.
The NXT is the Shield's house. We come and go as we please, but we'll always collect rent.
You know, it's about that time of year where people start making New Year's resolutions. Well, the Shield has a New Year's resolution to bring justice to WWE, to right the wrongs. And there is no better place to start than next week at NXT.
Happy New Year.
And you know that will be awesome. 2012 has been a tremendous year for NXT, and it looks like 2013 is destined to be even better. I'm Tony Dawson. From all of us at NXT, have a happy and safe New Year.